Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Spending Time with Gregory. As you can see, you're in the Spending Time with Gregory studio. And I wanted to come on this morning, guys, and talk to you about, and every time I come on, I talk about a milestone that's happened on Spending Time with Gregory. And today is a milestone. Today I start my concentration year of my Master's in Social Work program. Yes, my Master's in MSW, guys. I started today. Well, it actually started Monday, but I go back to my internship today, which I've been off for a full month since December, since classes ended. So today is important, and I wanted to bring that to you guys. You know what? I'm taking 2 classes this semester, psychopathology and advanced clinical practice. Guys, I got 1 year until I complete my program, which is I'll end spring 2027. Well, hopefully I'll have my master's in social work and I can continue on and work on being a licensed clinical social worker. That's the end goal, guys, and you guys are along with me on this journey. You know, on Spending Time with Gregory, we do a lot of things. We do fishing, we do juicing, we do exercise, and we work on mental health. And today, mental health is an important part of Spending Time with Gregory. You don't know how important it is, because if you look back at all my videos, you'll see where, mental health was crucial. It was crucial to me being a better person that I am today. You can see on my caption, it says Institute of Human Behavior. You mean if I change my behavior, life would be different for me, which life is different for me, guys. Life is different for me because I decided to change my behavior, work on my mental health, and taking these courses and getting my master's in social work is going to give me an opportunity to help other people change their lives, do different things in their lives. And that's the end goal for me at this point. And this is, I've been off for a month, ended classes in December, and we're starting back now, which I had a long break. Did a lot of fishing. I had a wonderful break. Now I feel good about getting back to, my classes. Now, those breaks were important for me. The break was important for me. I did fishing. That's my meditation. That's part of my mental health. It helps me put my mind at ease. I'm usually out there by myself. I'm usually out there, thinking about my future, thinking about the past, thinking about events that have happened in my life that have changed my life. And hopefully, on this journey, I can encourage you to do different things, different things in your life. That's the whole aspect of Spending Time with Gregory. Encouraging people, encouraging friends, encouraging people in the YouTube world to do things, if they can do things different. I've been doing some different types of videos. I did the boating video where I showed you pictures of the boats, the beautiful boats that surface, that ride the intercoastal here in Fort Lauderdale. That is serene in itself. Everything we do on Spending Time with Gregory has something to do with mental health. Everything. Trust me, everything. And there's nothing I'd rather be doing every day than showing you things, how life has changed for me. And if you go back and look at all my videos, Walls of Reflection, my prison experience. I smoked crack for 33 years. I dressed up like a homeless person and it wasn't even Halloween. Both Walls of Reflection are, good. Go back and watch those, because I talk about mental health. Those videos are very important. It's important today as we, go about our everyday life to work on our mental health. You can see it in the news today, how, life has affected people. Life shows up for people on a day-to-day basis. It shows up for me, Greg. What do you do, Greg, when life shows up for you? That's the question I'm asking myself. And that's the question I challenge, my subscribers, the people that watch my channel. What do you do when life shows up for you on a day-to-day basis? I'll tell you what I do. I have a support group. People that understand me, people that know me, people that know what I've been through. I call them and they help me out with my situation. You know, they walk me through this journey. You know, I do nothing alone today. I need help living the life that I live today. Now, another thing that I do, I talk to a therapist. Now, I work with therapists every day, so I run stuff past them. You know, like almost like free therapy. You know, hey, what would you do in this situation? You know, I'm dealing with this. Now, I don't think there's one person in the world that doesn't have a past trauma. You know, we all have past traumas. How we deal with those traumas today is important. That's why on Spending Time with Gregory, focusing on mental health is one of the things that we focus on. You know, it's real. I don't stress it enough. You know, when I post mental health videos and I don't get a lot of attention to the mental health videos. It seems like people want, you know, to see people run from or things that can help them be a better person, help them get through their traumas. Now, that's what I want to stay on. I want to stay on mental health type stuff, guys. I want. That's why I'm stressing so much. That's why the journey I'm on today, it's a milestone. You know, here I'm, you know, going to my internship today, learning how to help people change their lives, learning how to help people be better people. You know, helping myself, you know, deal with the traumas that I've been through in my life, guys. So look forward to, you know, thank you guys we're at 300 and some subscribers. We're trying to get to 500. We're trying to get to 1,000. You know, we want people to hear our story. We want people to hear our journey. People see our journey. You know, put mental health at the top of everything. You know, mental health. You know, mental health encompasses a whole lot of things. You know, your behavior, how you deal socially, spiritually. You know, how you encompass your life. All these things count. You know, dealing with mental health. Now, when I'm standing out there in the Everglades fishing, when I'm out there on Federal Highway, my legs are hurting, guys. Excuse me. I don't know if it's the weather. Or I think it's the weather. It's getting a cold front, but my legs have been killing me this week. But thank you guys for spending time with Gregory. I only got you for 8 minutes, and the 8 minutes is almost up. But focus, guys, on mental health. Continue with the mental health. That's important. You know, fishing is fun. You know, the juicing is fun. All that's a part of mental health, guys. So just work on your behavior. Thank you for spending time with Gregory. I'll see you guys on the other end.